wife's credit card was stolen, but the police advised me to take no further action. Turns out the thief was spending less than she was. Welcome to the Shikama Live Show with your host, Shikama. Secured credit card versus prepaid cards. Say you want to tighten up your spending and control debt, and you're eyeing either a secured card or a prepaid debit card. After all, these two types of cards have striking similarities. You can't rack up debt because your spending is limited to the amount of cash that backs up your card. And secured cards and prepaid cards are widely available from banks, credit unions, and credit card companies. Yet choosing the wrong card can ding your financial well-being. Why? For starters, only secured cards can help you improve your credit score. Quote, they help you build or establish credit, says Greg McBride, CFA, Chief Financial Analyst at Bankrate.com. That's why people get them. Secured versus prepaid cards. The basics. After all, secured credit cards are much like regular credit cards, except that you must make a security deposit before using the card, usually $300 to $500. Then, your spending is limited to the amount of money that you've deposited as collateral. Each month, you make payments on the amount you owe. Conversely, reloadable prepaid cards resemble bank debit cards, except that you can use only the amount of money that you've loaded onto your card. So $300 loaded onto your prepaid card gives you $300 in spending power. Quote, both cards also have a range of choices, says Christina Tetrano, staff attorney at Consumer Union's Financial Services Program Team. Some cards are terrific and some are crummy. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Before applying for these or any other type of credit card, check your credit score at, I believe, creditkarma.com. Improving credit score with secured cards. Because issuers report payments to credit bureaus, secured credit cards can quickly improve your credit score. And sometimes you can get bumped up to an unsecured card as your credit improves when you pay your bills in full or on time for about a year. Quote, so they're a great way to establish credit or get back on track with credit reporting, Tetro says, but make sure the card reports to all three credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Though these cards seem straightforward, people mistakenly think that their monthly payments will be paid from their security deposit, says Lee Gimple, Director in Development of LifeWise Strategies of Wilmington, North Carolina. But that deposit actually stays active until you close your account, says Gimple. So your money is effectively tied up since you pay off the bill like a regular credit card. And minimum payments, even on secured cards, can end up costing you. Interest rates can be as high as 28% on unpaid balances, says Andrea Luqueta, a policy advocate at the California Reinvestment Coalition in San Francisco. Meanwhile, your security deposit is reaping only small interest rates. Control spending with prepaid cards. Conversely, prepaid cards are increasingly used to control spending. So some prepaid cards are bolstering their budgeting features, according to a 2014 Pew Charitable Trust study. For example, one prepaid card company lets you pay bills online, see real-time balances, get text alerts, and even set savings goals. That's why some prepaid cards are terrific for budgeting, Gimple says. Quote, you can use one card for food purchases and another for your gifts, he says. Prepaid cards are an electronic version of the popular envelope budgeting system. In that method, a person puts cash in a labeled envelope to pay a certain expense. Tetro says that some prepaid cards are even linked to savings account with interest rates of more than 3%. On the downside, some prepaid cards, such as the Susie Orman or Magic Johnson cards, have folded recently. So go with an established bank or other financial institution and not with the celebrity card, says Luqueta. The reason no federal law or regulations protect consumers when prepaid cards fail, according to Pew Charitable Trust. As always, fees matter. Secured credit cards are usually bare bones offerings, says Gimple, but they may have a variety of fees that regular credit cards don't have. For example, some secured cards may have balance transfer fees or even cash advance fees. So Consumer Union, Tetro says, to look for secured cards with no monthly or annual fees. There shouldn't be special fees such as application fees that can nickel and dime you, she says. Quote, some terrific cards are available through local banks, credit card providers, and credit unions, she says. For example, Kirtland Federal Credit Union in Albuquerque, New Mexico, offers a secure credit card with no annual fees or over-limit fees. Stick with cards offered by larger issuers and you'll be safer, says Bruce McClary, Government Relations and Public Policy Manager in the ClearPoint Credit Counseling Solutions Seattle office. Quote, lots of fringe issuers have questionable offerings and may not be competitive, he says. The lowest interest rates are offered to people with a good credit history, though. Compare a few differing offers before signing up, he adds. Better services with a secure card. Despite these warnings, LifeWise strategist Gimple says you're likely to find better services with secured cards than with prepaid cards. You can get points or cash back, he says, and some cards let you enjoy some of the same perks as credit cards, such as car rental insurance, purchase protection, and travel accident insurance. Tetrell says a secured card's biggest advantage is zero liability from fraud, experts say. If you lose your secured card, you can get the same protection as regular credit cards, she says. However, prepaid cards still aren't covered by federal law, so protections vary. Still, you should avoid costly add-on services such as credit protection. They may not be what you need, McClary said. Finally, watch out for prepaid fees. Prepaid cards are notorious for their fees, including add-on fees, McClary says. However, some fees are as point-of-sale fees or customer service fees are going away, though monthly fees are increasing, according to Pew reports. McBride explains that prepaid cards are increasingly transparent and have lower fees, including flat monthly fees that make figuring out monthly costs easier. Also, a number of the cards are offering by big banks, so you can use their bank rates and ATMs and avoid ATM charges. Quote, high fee cards are becoming marginalized if prepaid cards become more consumer-friendly, McBride says. Tetrolds says the best prepaid cards also don't have overdraft features. They're attractive for consumers with budget issues since you can't rack up debt, she says. Ultimately, your best strategy is to shop around for the best type of card for you, Tetrell said. Both cards have their pitfalls, she says. Now, let me give you my personal experience. I checked my credit scores online, and you can of course do that for free. Now there was one score that I could not see, and that was probably the most important one because that's the one that my bank looks at. The advice that I was given was fantastic for what I wanted. The advice I was given was get to a score of 720 and then apply for a secured card. Well, here's my problem. Because I had listened to all the preppers and I'd listened to all the doom and gloom, and because I even sometimes talk about doom and gloom, I was under the impression that credit cards were a very bad thing. But the thing is, having a very high positive credit score only helps you in this day and age. The doomsday has not shown up recently in my lifetime, and I doubt it will show up in your children's lifetime. I was trying to get secured cards when I actually qualified for unsecured credit cards. Now, it just seems to be that I'm now calculating my net worth and calculating all of my credit when in fact I'm in a much better position than I actually thought I was. I'm not 800, but I'm not 300, nowhere near 300. And even the credit reporting agencies that have me as a low score are because of bad business decisions that I made, not from anything that I did personally or didn't pay or whatever. Sometimes bad business decisions can bite you severely. Now, what is the actual best thing to get? The best thing to get is an unsecured card, no annual fees, pay it off before the due date of the bill. Now, speaking of that, I'm going to make another video talking about American Express, who should use it, what's the downfall, and do you even need it? But please take all of this information. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.